Hey everybody, I am Steve Drapalski, and I'm on time, which never happens. Stacey can tell you that. But I am an advanced director with Pampered Chef on Stacey Itzel's team, and I'm doing this for about a year. And my personal business is 99.999999% online. So I'm super excited that this training is being offered by Stacey and the other leaders, because I know online parties are still, new to some people, and also the idea of starting them can be kind of scary. So hopefully everything that's been shared over the past several days has encouraged you to dive in and try them if you haven't already. So I'm going to talk to you all about some of the ways that I personally follow up during my parties. And that's as it relates to recruiting. That's a big focus of this. Selling, getting the sales that you want in an online party, and then fostering a long-term relationship with your customers. I know earlier that Melody had shared my tip for securing bookings by challenging my hosts in a follow-up exchange. So I'm not going to talk about that. That's all on the page. I run 8-day parties, 2 days of pre-party, which is a lot of tips and tricks, recipes, things like that. I don't really push any product on those 2 days, and then I do 6 days of themed product. There are two primary reasons that individuals book parties with me: join my team or become loyal customers. One, they state that they have never experienced such a high level of customer service, which Cheryl mentioned earlier today, and then they feel like they are engaging with someone who's authentic. So even though it's all online, they feel like by the end of it they know me, and so the investment in me is greater than if they didn't feel that way, obviously, because they don't know me really. They've never met me. I've never met them. And in terms of the authentic piece, hosts and customers can tell when you're interacting with them if you are checking off a to-do list simply and not being authentically you. And so these are two areas that you should really focus on from the beginning. It starts when you book a show with someone, from host coaching throughout the entire party. So my first tip to follow is follow up regarding the business opportunity with customers. So I include a handful of business posts in my party template. I use Post My Party, and basically they'll say something like, ask me a question about my business for 5 tickets to the grand prize. And then one of my host daily posts is also about the business. And that sounds something like, I'm sure by now you can tell that Steve loves being a leader with Pampered Chef. Ask him a question about what he does as a consultant and earn 5 raffle tickets to the grand prize. When a guest comments on a post about the business, I always tag them and thank them for their question and answer it, and also mention that I will be sending them a personal message on Facebook to follow up and where to find it. Because I won't be friends with that person yet, Facebook will send your message to them in kind of an abyss, it's a little folder that's called message request, and it lives in your inbox. And it doesn't immediately always let you know that there's an extra message there that's from like a stranger, so you have to direct them to go look for it. And the following language I utilize when I follow up with them about their comment on the business opportunity post is as follows. I say, hey Stacey, it's Cheryl's Pampered Chef guy, ! Smiley face. I'm hoping you are loving Cheryl's online party, ! I just wanted to take a moment and shoot you a personal message. Did you comment on the post in our party about the biz opportunity just for the raffle tickets, or did you actually want some information on what it's like to do what I do? I would love to share if you are willing to listen. Now I'll be honest, some people just want the tickets, and that's okay. But they're open to hearing more about the opportunity. Just to give you some numbers, because I'm obsessed with numbers and data and how they inform my business, I've recruited 35 people in my first year and a month, all via online parties. I've never recruited anybody from a cooking show. I do them maybe one every 2 months or so. So if you are somebody that wants to switch to your business and have it be a lot of online parties, and you still want to have a team, for example, or recruit people and share the opportunity, you have to really learn how to be intentional about sharing the opportunity with people in your online parties. So out of those 35 people in my first year, 15 of them were recruited through private messaging follow-up after a comment on a business post. Of those 15, 8 were actually interested in earning more, and 7 just wanted the tickets, but after we talked, and they saw how much fun it was to do what I do and how easy it is to get started, they took the leap and signed up. So just think, 7 people I would have never ever had the chance of working with. They would have never had the chance to make money, extra money, and earn free products and stuff had I not gone out and actually sent them a message. When you go into the messaging, the follow-up messaging process, you want to have an attitude of, I couldn't help but not reach out to you about this opportunity, versus I need some recruits this month, it's August 28th, and I have not a single one. Back to Cheryl's point this morning, it's all about giving, right? Of yourself and of what this business can do for people. Also, as I mentioned before, you really want to be authentic. That's how people are going to want to listen to you and hear what you have to say about the business, but also that's what's going to incline them to join your team. When offering details about the opportunity, it's really easy to get really excited and kind of, for lack of a better phrase, word vomit all the great things about the company. And I did that at first, right? But when you're following up with them in this manner, it's important to ask open-ended questions. So, do you work full-time? How familiar are you with Pampered Chef? What's your favorite product? What could you do with an extra $250 a month having a part-time job that never requires you to leave home? And lately with the holidays, I throw in, did you know that over 80% of people shop online now for holiday gifts? Why not have them shop with you as a Pampered Chef consultant and earn extra money for those holiday gifts? And when someone joins my team, I always ask them why they actually decide to sign up with me when they do. And in this case, it's from the follow-up message exchange. The overwhelming response is, you don't even know me and took the time to reach out to a stranger to share information about what you do and what it could do for me. And I'm generalizing a myriad of comments that I've received. If you take your time to do this for someone you don't even know, I can't imagine the support I would receive being on your team. So that really says something, to the point that, you reach out to them, share the opportunity. You don't know them usually because they're a guest of the host, and they are so amazed by the support you're already offering them, the opportunity right up front, that they want more, right? Now sometimes they will see the message but they won't respond. Julie Aldridge from Home Office told me once at a training event that she did here in Maryland that if they see your Facebook message, or say you follow up after a cooking show, if you do those, and leave a message and they don't respond, they are giving you permission to continue to follow up. Until they say no, we don't know if they really mean no or if they're not interested, right? So I track my recruit leads with a spreadsheet I call the hot, warm, and cold but not frozen list. And I'll get to what that looks like a little bit later. My next tip is to follow up regarding the business opportunity with your hosts. Now, this seems like a no-brainer, and the hosts are the best recruit lead, of course, but I know, at least for me, I wasn't even thinking about it when I first started. I wasn't asking the host, and not only was I not asking them, but I wasn't asking them multiple times, or following up with them and reminding them about the opportunity. So the way you communicate with them about signing up needs to be intentional. So as I said, I wasn't recruiting hosts until I put a system of follow-up in place for following up with them. So I follow up with them about the opportunity at least 3 times during the 8-day event, because repetition is key. Good things come in threes, right? So at first, the day the party starts, I make it a point to mention the kit credit option and benefits of being on my team when they book. So the language I use is, yay, I'm so excited you want to host a show with me. I have X date and X date available for a start time. Which would you like? Oh, and I encourage you to watch what I do, or should I say, how little I do, in running the event, in case you decide you may want to sign up and join my team as an online consultant when your party closes. Almost my whole team does online parties only. So I'm planting the seed, right? Then I remind them in the middle of the party, wow, you already have party sales of XX amount of dollars and have earned X amount of free product. This is pretty average for my shows. Did you know that as a consultant on my team, you would make X amount of money off of a show like this? And you will have never left your house. Just something to think about, smiley face. Now, if their sales at the halfway point in the party are not quite there yet, because sometimes the end of the party is top heavy with orders, I message them a picture of my first commission check, and I say, hey there, I hope you are enjoying your party. I just want to remind you again to be thinking about whether or not being a PC consultant like me might be right for you. You can see how little I do, and you could earn this too in your first month. # something to think about. Okay? So again, you're just offering the opportunity, following up, planting the seed. And then when the show is about to close, I message them and say, okay, time to get in there and place your order. Don't forget about the kit credit when you were shopping. I know you probably didn't think that you would be shopping for your own business by the end of this, but as you saw, it's super easy. Give it a shot. It's not like you're committing to marrying me, you're just dating me for a while to see if I'm a good fit. Now that's kind of cheesy, but it's funny, it works for me. You could come up with your own phrase similar to that. Of the 35 people I recruited in my first year, 12 were my hosts, and it was all through this follow-up method. So how do I track these interactions? It's very similar to making daily contacts and then noting in a notebook if and when you need to follow up with them about a party. So I have a list divided into hot, warm, and cold but not frozen. I update it weekly. So I have a spreadsheet, which I'm willing to share, but it's really a simple spreadsheet, and I'll tell you what it includes. All my host starting parties each week get dropped into the warm list because they're your first, your first kind of leads for that week, right? People on the hot list are prospects who told me they're signing, they are just waiting to get paid, or people I have had recruiting calls with, but who have not signed yet but are signing in that month. In each section, when I log someone down, I put their name, obviously, the connection, how I met them, through a party or what have you. One response, first response / date of that response from them, and then and then follow-up response / date, and then next step, so next action for me to take, and then any notes. So for example, if I had a host who, there might be, like for example, one person that's hosting may have been a guest previously in a party 2 months ago, and they said, oh, I want to sign, but I probably won't sign until my party. So I would note that because I would want to make sure that I didn't forget that we had that conversation. And then, so I used to be a fundraiser, and I did a lot of prospecting for like grants and corporate dollars. So I use a similar layout for tracking recruits in terms of potential people that might sign. And then the cold but not frozen list would be people who were really engaged at one point and talking about the business, and then at some point they became unresponsive. So I'm still following up with them, but not as aggressively as the other two groups. And they're not out of the running totally yet to sign up, but I'm not going to spend as much attention on them. And when I sit down to each day to work my business after I get back from work, when I get home from work, I go over next steps from this list as a part of my overall process. Okay, so I'm gonna have to speed it up. Okay, so one thing I want to mention about selling, ways to follow up in terms of, say that your party's not at the sales level you want it to be, and maybe your average is a specific thing and then it's suddenly not. I do something where I go through every single post in the every single comment from every single guest that posted on something in the party, a game, a product, whatever. I cross-reference it with the people who have ordered in Consultant's Corner, and then I tag the person and say, Cheryl Stotts, only 2 days left, and this is the day before the party ends. 2 days left to place an order to support the host, and I tag the host, and then I say, party closes tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I give them the link. People are overwhelmingly busy, or at least they claim to be, and so sometimes you have to handhold and remind them that the party is going to end soon. They need to get their order in. I have stats that show that my sales have gone up since I started doing that intentionally versus the previous week I didn't. My sales went up by $400 and my bookings went up by 3 bookings. So that definitely works too. Okay, now on to a follow-up tip for the last day of your online party that will help solidify the relationship with guests past the conclusion of the party and potentially generate future sales. So on the last day of the party, when it closes, I post saying the party's closed and who the grand prize winner is, and I tag them. I also list the amount of free and discounted product the host earned, and I include call to actions for those guests that might want to host. They might want to be added to my VIP page or become a consultant. Now, for those of you that don't have a VIP page, get one. Mine is set up as a group, and immediately when I book someone, they're added to the group because I want to be creating interests leading up to their party and also after their party happens on all things Pampered Chef. They can leave the group if they want, but I have found that seldom happens, and this allows you to remain connected with customers and hosts from past parties. Some things I do on my VIP page in terms of follow-up, which is what makes them feel special. That's really the purpose of that group, is that I do like a first glance when new products are coming out. So the fall products, I did that as a means of following up with them and letting them know what's new, and only them. I don't do this on my personal wall. And then sometimes I will pick a product and agree to knock a percentage off since they are my VIP when they order it. And then I give them a link to an open party. So like recently I did the splatter screen. I said, oh my gosh, I just got this product. I didn't even, I never used it before. I had seen it, but I can't believe how amazing it is. And I just feel like it's my duty to let you guys know and see, and have it for yourself. So I'm knocking $5 off of this because it's totally, you need it, right? So I'm following up with something that I found that's a really awesome product that I want to get in their hands, and they appreciate that. And usually they order more than just that one thing. And then I advertise outlet deals. That's, again, another following up way of customer service to have them save money. I share tips and other hacks to make their time in the kitchen fun and enjoyable and unique, which, again, is that customer service follow-up aspect. I share fun recipes. And 3 or 4 times a year, I will run a special VIP flash sale. So think like Black Friday or after Christmas, where I will make it a mystery host event as a thank you to them for their patronage, I guess, throughout the year. And then I'll have 3 levels of discounts. So like if you spend over $150, I'll take 20% off. If you spend over $100, I'll take 15% off. If you spend over $50, I'll take 15% off or whatever, or 10%. And that's another customer service following up way of letting them know that I appreciate them. Making your customers and past future hosts feel valued in these ways will only create greater investment on their part in you and your business, which will lead to future with them rebooking. Then the last tip, I always post in the event after it's over when the items have shipped, and I tag their guests that ordered with their expected delivery dates. So this is another way of providing, of following up essentially with them. So it's not just like the party's over, one and done, you ordered and I got the commission on your sales. I'm letting them know your products are coming. I'm making sure they're going to get there on time, and letting you know when that's going to happen. And some of the dates are different depending on where they live, obviously. So not everybody's going to get the same, all their products in the same day. This additional active follow-up is really great. It's a great way to send the signal that just because, again, they've ordered from a party and it's over, they're still a valued customer. Many times, people who didn't agree to book or didn't join my VIP page when I do that initial message on the last day, they'll then decide to book, or they will comment on the post about joining my VIP page. So those are just some things. Feel free to comment in the feed if you have any other questions. I'm happy to help. I love online parties. I could talk all day about them and all night and all weekend. But just let me know. Go ahead and comment if you have any questions, and rock it out. Thanks. Bye.